Welcome to Little Bits Honeybees. I'm the Skinny Bee Man here. Today we're going to continue our series on getting ready for winter. We're going to talk about feeding our bees today. Different areas is going to be different things. Some of them is going to be honey bound, which we've already talked about. Some of them is going to be light on stores for whatever reason. Weak split, late split, took too much honey off of them. But this is September 16th. Now's the time to start feeding. We got 6 to 8 weeks to get all the food on they need before winter. A good rule of thumb on if they've got enough honey is for every full frame of bees, that's covering bees covering both sides good, you kind of got to pull them apart because it never got all full bees on the frame, so figure it up. For every full frame of bees you got, you need a full frame of honey. That's a good reference to the amount of honey you need. We're going to show you some different ways to feed today, and now's the time to get it on there. Excuse me. Don't wait till they only got 3 weeks and they can't put enough feed on to do it. So now's the time to be doing it. I guess the first way we got to feed is what they call a Boardman feeder. You can buy them at the bee supply stores. Basically all you do is screw a mason jar on there full of syrup and put it on the front edge. It's called entrance feeders. They just stick on the entrance. Got your jar coming up. You can see if they need to be fed. Got a few drawbacks. If it gets down much over half to empty, the fluctuation in temperature, it loses vacuum, and a lot of times it'll dump sugar in the hive if you don't keep them filled all the way up. Promotes robbing a little bit. The feed, smell of the feed's right here. It attracts bees. But a lot of people like these. They're easy, simple. You can get enough feed on your bees that way. My preferred way is a hive top feeder. This is my Fat Bee Man's design, but I've changed it around a little bit. But you can buy them from the bee supply houses. You put, they come up through the ladder. Put your feed here. This gives me my ventilation for the winter too. Put a lot of feed on that way. Say you ain't got any of that. Go to your paint store. This is how Michael Palmer feeds all of his bees late in the year. After he pulled all the honey off he's going to do and needs to feed. Go to the paint store and buy an empty gallon paint can. Drill you 1/16 inch holes in there, all 10 or 15. Fill it all the way to the top. Pretty important, all the way to the top, so you don't lose a bunch of syrup when you turn it over. Pound your lid in, get a good seal. Turn the bucket over out on the ground. That way all the syrup drips until it gets its vacuum. It gets done dripping. Then you lay a couple, put it towards the back. You don't want it dripping in the middle of your cluster. Put it towards the back of your hive. Lay you a couple strips of board back there. Set your paint can on there. And it's just a simple matter of taking another deep body, setting right on top of it. I mean, there is such a case if you've got a strong hive and they're way weak, you may want to put 2 cans on there. 2 to 1 syrup, they'll readily store it and cap it. 1 to 1 sugar, they use it up for the day-to-day basis. They usually don't store much 1 to 1 sugar. That's why you can really get by feeding 1 to 1 sugar with honey supers on. They really don't store it very well. 2 to 1 they will. And Some people is going to be fortunate enough that they're more or less honey bound and they don't need to feed. Well, you can still get some advantage out of the winter fall feeding. You got a strong hive here, and they got plenty of stores up here, whatever. Pull a frame out of honey, capped honey, pull it out of there. Give them a frame of starter strip. Feed them, put this up. Take this, freeze it, take it out of the freezer, put it in another deep box in the basement of the garage and seal it up where the wax moths and the beetles can't get to it, can't get in the box. If you got a bunch of strong hives that way, you'll get the extra honey. If they draw this out, fine. If they don't, pull it out, replace it back with this. If they draw it out and you've got weaker hives that's not built up enough, you can take this frame of honey and put it in a hive that needs some honey for the winter. Hope this helps and saves some bees. You know, honeybees is on a decline. It's been a battle. Back before 1985, you know, you come out here and you set a box of bees out, kept putting honey supers on them. You didn't even go through them. You just keep adding boxes. Late September or something, you come pull all the honey off of them, leave them enough for the winter, put the lid back on it. All there was to it was all the parasites and viruses we got now. It's just not that case. And the backyard beekeeper does his share to do the pollination, and he may be the resources. If one of these big commercial bee outfit really hit hard, the backyard beekeeper may be the United States saving grace on bees, to have stock that they can come back and get things going again on. You just never know what'll come up. Diseases go fast. But if you like the videos, subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you next time.